forward.
Blessings, blessings. Welcome forward once again to the Tree of Life, you know. We're in the presence of the kings and kings. So we want to say big up to Raman, you don't know, T Nitro, Bob, Akeem, and Pooh. Same way, you see it, and to the little puppy, you know. Her presence here too, you know. Yeah, so we have to give thanks to all. And also for the Tree of Life and the Trees of Life. Well, I'm Jerome C.H. Butler. And some call me Jerome, some call me C.H., some call me Grandmaster. You know what I mean? Right here, right now, we're going to be talking about, I guess, a book that most people are quite familiar with. And some would say many people have died protecting this book, or also have died as a result of some of the edicts of the book, or as a result of the beliefs engendered in this book. The book we're talking about, or we're going to talk about, is the Bible. Now the Bible to many people is significant because, number one, it is their spiritual anchor. Now why would you say an anchor? Well, simply put, I mean, let's say life is a ship and we are able to go from one destination to another, from one port of entry and port of exit to another. Then our anchor is what seems to root us down and seem to keep us in a particular spot, right? When we seem to need to be, you know, centered, you know, grounded. So anchor keep us from just, I mean, sailing off and floating off into any and everywhere. So when you dock at a particular, you know, creek or a particular key, you know what I mean? If you don't anchor, the thing is gone. But we are also mobile, you know what I mean? So the mobility is balanced by the anchor. So within your spiritual life, the Bible is like that balancing, you know, central axis, your anchorage, you know what I mean? It kind of puts you into a common space in the multiplicity of events and experiences of your existence. So the Bible being an anchor for millions of people, rooted in Christian values, Christian principles. The Bible for many also represents this book of pain and suffering, because a lot of what's contained in the book speaks about lots of war, suffering, pillaging and pilfering and whole manner of oppression, and through it all there is a people who is esteemed most amongst people, who were once at the highest end of their existence and then all of a sudden was torn down by their own ego and pride. So the Bible points to the kind of harsh activities and also suggests to some people the kind of harshness contained in human activities one to another. It cements some people believe that they can really oppress others in the name of a God that suggests that the universe is under a certain kind of supreme control, and that these particular members of these organizations, these secret church, you know, groupings can decide the destiny of millions of people across the world. So billions of people are under the direct influence wielded by priests, clergymen who use the Bible as a tool for many things. Some suggest ethnic cleansing, destruction of religious rights, I mean of other or indigenous religious rights. So it has two clear, distinct views. When one examines the stories within the Bible, one is seeing that there is generally a story of a person's rise, epic rise, and a person's epic fall, through the egoistic nuances humans create because of desire, because of power. It tells of great kings rising and great kings falling, of great queens rising and great queens falling, and also of great queens appearing in the rubble of civilization, like Esther, at the point where Jerusalem was subdued by an invading foreign force. The Bible has many edicts that suggest a way of life that is wholesome, that is balanced, that can be applied right across the board, regardless of where you are in the world. But it also has specific dictates that make I believe that it is indeed a sacred book. Not based upon the beckoning of these priests or these secret organizations or these high organizations that deal with the charisma or the dogma that comes from, you know, religiosity and what theology says about Christ and what we are here on earth doing. For me, the Bible represents a communion between millions of souls who have been through an experience of a spiritual nature, acknowledging a supreme deity above all other sub-deities, a supreme way of being, a supreme ordinance. I look at the Bible in that terms as a true guideline, a true guiding principle to human psyche that I cannot see within any other pages of any book written anything that suggests that it counteracts the philosophies, the psychologies, the truths and the facts of biblical information. Many people have done the biblical codes and have proven them to be correct. What has happened is that ecumenical language and religious language is written, or indeed spiritual language is written in a strange text, usually in parables as Christ says. So I would suggest that people who say they read the Bible for a direct knowledge won't always necessarily get this direct end result. If you read the Bible with an openness towards looking at stories, allegories as a means of subconsciously looking at human behavior, when humans act without true faith, when humans act without true justice, when humans act without true principles, what are the end results? My particular story that made me be more attuned with biblical principle and feel more at ease, regardless of what people say, and as time goes on, more information comes out, proper translations are coming out from old Amharic and Hebrew texts, so we are beginning to understand that there are true and clearer meanings that was not postulated through some of the biblical texts we were given in the context of the King James Version. Because Rastaman, I was talking about the Maccabees, and I've read parts of the book of the Maccabees within the Catholic Bible, and it points to something. And it points to a particular time in Jewish history that a particular dreadlock set of kings ruled for over 300 years. So there's stuff that is hidden because some books were not added, like the book of Enoch, which Ethiopia still has as one of its sacred books. So the Bible in the context of which it's given, as I said, is not the way in which I look at it for my inspiration. I look at it for my inspiration because I had a very interesting vision once, going through my awakening process, and in the vision, an endowed being came to me and suggested to me I should read the Bible. I took the Bible and I ripped it in about 5 pieces, and I threw it away because I said to the endowed being, the enlightened being, I don't need a Bible, I don't deal with this religiousness you're putting on me. But then when I looked at the 5 pieces of the Bible that I saw torn, I looked and I saw that it was books like the book of Enoch, it was books like the Emerald Tablets, books that I had revered. It was books like the Bhagavad Gita, the Book of the Dead. It was all those books that I had revered as sacred books. All those fragments were those books. And when I gathered back those books together, I saw that it was a Bible that I held in my hand. I never had a clearer vision. Then I began to learn about Bible codes, and then to begin to realize that the Bible is written in a particular sigil and a particular hidden language, that direct understanding of it won't necessarily always bring you closer to God if you're not led with the spirit of understanding and truth. It will set you free in how the words of the patriarchs and the matriarchs become alive in your psyche, in your subconscious. So to apply the Bible purely as this guideline based upon principles espoused by the priest or the pastor is not sufficient to me to make people wholly hold it as the true holy book it is, because it is a book of guidelines towards self-awakening, towards truth. So the Bible must be a personal experience, and you must read it with the spirit of truth and true desire for knowledge, for liberation, for salvation. And the spirit of the patriarchs will guide you, and the spirit of the Christ will come upon you, and then you will begin to have that communion with Yahweh, with Yahshua, with the divine Elohim, with the Most High, yeah, through the emperor, through the empress, through your ancestral line and lineage, in all your culture, in all your kindred, in all your tongues. You will find that key to unlock the chakras of the heart. And the Bible leads us to know that the language of our awakening is in the heart. It's in our attitude to how we pervade existence. It's in our attitude to how we deal with each other, how we deal with ourselves, how we deal with the spiritual world. Get more in tune with spiritual things. Read your Bible from that spiritual point of view. Don't get caught up in doctrines, dogmas, and all these theological discrepancies people are talking about. Stay on the cutting edge of information. There are clearer and more profound translation that is more true to the ancient text. One can now begin to see the path of Christianity through Christ is a path to awakening. It's no other way. And though it is a path to awakening, and it is filled with many pundits, many distractors, dementors and tormentors along the way, you must remember why you are on the way in the first place. Because the world is filled with trappings that lull you to sleep and put you in a false sense of security and a false sense of well-being. At least when you start a journey based upon the spiritual, the religious, the truth that one can see through biblical teachings, one can begin to come to understand and to know that indeed the world is filled with pitfalls, treacheries, and all these manners of deceit. So one must indeed be clairvoyant, be very perceptive, and one will survive the cataclysm that is about to take us at some point in our earthly existence. So blessings and honor. Read your Bible with clairvoyance, with harmony of heart and nature. Allow your spirit to grow in true spirituality. From a feeble being, weak within you, to a mighty and strong, solid spirit with conviction, a heart and a mind of soundness. Through true biblical principle. Natural, earthly, organic, righteous principles. Let us harmonize. Jerome Sage Butler at the Tree of Life, giving thanks for life and for Yahweh, for the Emperor, for the Empress, remembering that we are a gift to each other and a gift to ourselves. So continue to be a gift to yourself and to your world, your environment, your community.